Dance is more than just a fun hobby. It can teach grace, commitment, confidence, discipline, and teamwork. When your child decides that they want to learn how to dance, you want to be sure that you do your research and find a dance studio that offers quality instruction. Technique Studio of Dance in South Hadley has been offering professional instruction for 17 years and wants to be sure all parents know what to look for when choosing a studio. Owner and artistic director Darlene Sattler has quite an extensive background in dance.
I started dancing at 9 years old, and I trained at a local dance studio for 5 years. I then received an apprenticeship for the Massachusetts Ballet Company, then moved on to the Springfield Ballet Company. I was a member of the Frank Hatchett Dancers. I worked with Tony DeVecchi, the Dance Conservatory of New England, and I trained with ballet master Alexander Danaev.
And her training didn't stop there.
We continue to go. We train at Broadway Dance Center with the top choreographers and instructors in the world today. And we think that's very important because you stay on the cutting edge of the dance industry. And you're always teaching students new and more advanced movement, so they're not getting kind of stuck in a rut.
After learning more about her background, we wanted to find out what parents should really look for when they're choosing a dance studio for their child.
Okay, first of all, you want to learn their background. If they've only danced at Susie's School of Dance and they danced there for 20 years, you'd probably want to look elsewhere. You want to find somebody that has a professional background, that's trained with professionals, has danced professionally, and has taught for a number of years.
Next, you want a small class size.
What is very important about small class size is then the teacher has the time to give one-on-one attention to the student. A lot of times if a child is one of 25, 28 kids in a class, they could get lost in the shuffle and overlooked. And what happens is they don't get the correction and the training that's going to make them a better dancer.
Also, a family-friendly environment.
You want to have a working relationship between the parents, the instructor, and the child. You also want to make sure that you have an environment where there's no cattiness, no competition between students. And what's going to happen is it's going to make it a fun, family-friendly environment for the students that are here.
Don't forget, always ask for a video.
A dance video is very important because it's going to give you insight into the way the studio teaches. You're going to be able to tell by watching a video of one of their performances, are their feet pointed? Are their knees bent? Are they dancing in lines? Are they doing creative choreography? And if you find these things, you'll be able to tell if it's a studio that's going to be appropriate for your child.
You want to look for noticeable progression.
They need to learn new steps, more advanced steps that are geared towards their ability. And you have to make sure that little kids aren't learning things that are too difficult because they're not going to be able to do them. And what's going to happen is they're going to get frustrated and they're not going to like to dance. So you have to keep the movement based on the age and the ability of the child. And then you have to make sure that they are learning new steps and keeping them progressing year after year and developing into an advanced dancer.
And of course, fun.
And the other thing you want to make sure is that the students are having fun. So although they're learning and their structure and you're making sure that they are learning proper technique, you also want to keep it fun and light and make sure that they're having a great time while they're here.
Later in the show, Darlene is going to show us the right and the wrong ways to do basic dance techniques, and she's going to tell us about their upcoming performance. Stay tuned. So someone like me, I can't tell good from bad technique, but a trained dance professional, you can take bad technique and turn it into good.
Yes, and what we're going to start off with is showing the wrong way to do a plie. A lot of students come in and they think from watching dancers that they need to overturn out their feet, which would be forcing your toes back. And if she were to now try to do a plie, her knees, if you're going to do it the wrong way, sometimes their knees come forward like this, and what's happening is they're rolling their feet forward and they're wrenching their knees. The correct way to do that, if you come back up, Lauren, is to put your feet in a natural turnout position. The turnout has to come from at the top of the legs, from your hips. And now when she does her plie, she's going to make sure that her knees follow out and point over her toes. And that's the correct way to do a plie. Another exercise that you have to make sure is done correctly is a tendu. And a tendu, the foot has to slide out along the floor until the toes are completely extended, and then it slides back in. The one thing that you want to make sure that a student does is continue their turnout. So the wrong way to do it is if she were to pick up her foot off the floor and point with her leg turned in and her toes turned in. You want to make sure that the leg is turned out and the toe never leaves the floor, and then it slides back into position. So now we're going to show an example of a sickled foot, which is poor technique. Okay, so Lauren is going to raise her leg to the back into an arabesque, and if her foot was sickled, what you see a lot is when the toes are pointing down to the floor like this. Okay, what you want to make sure is that the toes are in perfect alignment with the leg, creating one straight line. Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate the wrong way and the right way to do a PK turn. What we often see are students that perform these turns on a bent leg, which is poor technique. So Lauren, go ahead and demonstrate on a bent leg. Okay, so now what she should be doing is in the next demonstration is she's going to step up on a perfectly straight leg and land.
Darlene explained the differences between bad posture and good posture at the ballet bar. She talked about how to line your shoulders up over your hips to have a strong, solid core, the correct arm placement, and to press down through the shoulders, and of course, to pull up tall. And she had her student Alyssa demonstrate the wrong and the right way to go up on point shoes. She explained that the student should not be able to go up on point until their technique and their strength is established.
They should only be put on point if they have the skills and they have very strong feet, ankles, calves, because all of their body weight is on the tips of their toes. And if they're put on point prematurely, what's going to happen is they can cause serious injury to their ankles, knees, lower back, and feet.
After explaining some dance basics, she told us more about her studio.
All of us at Technique pride ourselves in providing professional quality instruction. We offer small classes to assure one-on-one attention to each and every student. Proper dance technique is crucial to their growth and development and provides a solid foundation regardless if they are recreational or serious dancers.
If you'd like to see what Technique's Studio of Dance is all about, well, they invite you to attend their 17th Performance Showcase at Mount Holyoke College's Chapin Auditorium on Sunday, June 22nd at 3 p.m. They're also offering a free ticket to all students that attend another dance studio. So just email or call the studio for info on how to receive your free ticket.
Proper technique, professionally qualified instructors, small class size, and a friendly family atmosphere is the difference between dancing and being a dancer. As our motto says, if you're going to dance, dance with technique.
For more information, log on to techniquedance.net, or you can give Darlene a call directly, 413-539-9996.